how the fuck did I get in a movie? First off, shouts out to Marseille Martin, Gene's production, Josh, Carroll, the whole crew. Like, man, they rocked with me on the first movie, Little, that had Issa Rae and Regina Hall in it. And yeah, man, it was just a crazy scenario how I even linked up with them. But I ended up being in a movie called Fantasy Football that had Kelly Rowland, Amari Hardwick, and Marseille Martin, executive produced by Marseille Martin. Yeah, and I remember we was on set one day. When you're doing these movies, you start building a bond with people on set because you're seeing them 6-7 days straight, and y'all eating lunch together. I had the blessing opportunity to be able to, sit down with obviously Marseille. That's sis right there for sure. Dan Amari, Kelly Rowland, the side conversations about kids and whatever, and then they just take a liking to certain people, and I'm just, I'm blessed enough to be able to person that, I got a great personality. One of the main things too is, man, when you get around these people, don't fan out. I had so many people like, yo, ask him his ghost dead and all of that crazy shit, and it just was like, bruh, that's the last thing they want to hear, like, especially when Amari don't even know himself if he even coming back, you know what I mean? They kind of cliffhanger him, and he was the main character. But yeah, so it was a day we was at the mansion shooting, and that day, I just kind of woke up kind of feeling off, and I kind of just had my own ways of produce myself into a better energy, so one of my favorite artists and people in the world is Nipsey Hussle. So I just was like, man, let me throw on my Crenshaw jersey, let me just get in the vibe of Nipsey, you know what I mean? Just kind of just feel good about the day, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I woke up kind of off, and the day before you might get done from a 12-hour shoot, sleep for like 5-6 hours, get back up, be at the trailer by 6:45, 7 in the morning. So got up, and we was doing this mansion scene when Amari was coming to the mansion to meet one of his players. The team they played for was Atlanta Falcons, sorry. And Amari, he's a poet, he's into music himself. He let me hear his album on set, it was a dope experience, just being able to, I'm really talking to Amari just with these conversations. And I remember Stally was there. Stally from Ohio. I walked past his green room, and he was talking about Nipsey Hussle. And I'm always, I just kind of chimed in a little bit, walked out. So we on set, about to do the same, and Amari comes over and he's like, Pace, you not in this scene? Now mind you, that day I was just kicking it with Marseille on set, doing some behind the scenes work or whatever. And Marseille, where I'm at, she's at, like, that's the homie, you feel me? Like, we, I'm documenting her as well. So got my Crenshaw jersey on. He's like, Pace, you ain't in the scene? I'm like, man, no, I'm not in the scene. Like, I'm literally, like, I haven't been in no scenes in this movie. I'm not an extra. I'm a part of the crew with Marseille. So he like, no, like, Pace, you gotta be in the scene. Like, you gotta be in it. You got on Crenshaw jersey. It's a testament to Nipsey. So I'm like, I look at Marseille, I'm like, yo, like, I ain't about to mess y'all film up. Cause with these movies, you can't, unless you get it like clear, you can't wear name brands like Nike or Puma, Adidas, Louis Vuitton, Apple MacBooks, Apple, you know what I mean? So I look at Marseille, she like, Marseille's the executive producer. So she like, go for it, Pace. Amari goes and get the director. This is how crazy the day was of me just choosing to throw on Crenshaw jersey, Quincy McCall from Love and Basketball. And the director, Anton, he's from Los Angeles, and it was his birthday. It was the director's birthday at the same time too. So he's feeling good. Amari's feeling good. They like, yo, it's a testament to Nipsey. Cause I'm like, yo, can I wear Crenshaw? So, yeah. So Anton, the director, he like, man, fuck it, like, put him in the film. So I had a small clip, and Marseille made sure she put me in there as much as she could, and I had a small clip, and you know, I just picked the best spot to stand at. So I'm like, if they coming down from these steps and the camera got to pan over here, and this is a pool party scene, by the way. Everybody got on like silk shirts, bikinis. Some people got dresses. I got on a full-fledged jersey with a white tee and some shorts. I think they was jean shorts, maybe. Like, it's crazy. And I just made sure, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna tell nobody, but a few people. But I'm like, I'm gonna make sure when they pan this camera over, you gonna see me in this big ass blue jersey with Crenshaw all over it, bopping with a red cup in my hand. And the funny thing is, when they filming these scenes, they play some music before, and then it's completely silent, so that you can hear the actors. So I'm bopping to no music, acting like I'm drinking like some alcohol, but I only think it was nothing in the cup. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta put some water in here or something. Like, bro, I can't just be bopping to like, you know, nothing in my cup. You feel me? Especially at a NFL pool party. And yeah, we did the scene. I didn't really know if they was gonna put me in there or not, because there was so many like shots and angles that we took. And yeah, I remember going down to the premiere in Atlanta, and Marseille was like, yo, did you see you in the movie? And then her mom was like, you ruined the surprise. Cause I didn't even know, like, you know what I mean? Like I was waiting, but I'm like, you know, if I ain't in there, you know, so be it. You know what I mean? I had the experience. And then, yeah, like I seen myself in there. That shit was like one of the craziest feelings. I remember, you know, like it was just dope. Even like my son, like my dad's rich. He's in a movie, like, all, you know, just, you know, on Paramount Plus app and everything like that. So, you know, that was just a very, very unexpected bucket list experience that I had. And I don't know, I went with my vibe that day of how I felt, just to change my energy and to get in a more positive mind state. Because when you're around these people, you know, you can't be having no negative vibe or no cloud over your head, or you don't want them to be like, you know, what's wrong with you or whatever. You know, you just gotta stay up. And I'm glad that, you know, something in the atmosphere and the energy would just told me like, man, this is where it is. And, you know, that kind of set a good vibe, you know, for being on set. You know, we were shooting in Atlanta, you know, the way Omari wanted me in the film, just representing, you know, Crenshaw, because that's his favorite artist, the director from LA. And, you know, that was just a very, very dope experience. And, you know, I really pushed that just how, you know, how my personality is and how I choose to just always be professional, or always just try to, you know, pick up on your emotions, to just check yourself. And I'm glad I checked myself that day, because, you know, shit, I would have just been in the background, you know, just waiting for the shoot to get done to go to the next location. So that was a dope experience, man. So, you know, just however you wake up, man, just check yourself, you know, get your energy right. Make sure that, you know, if you about to be around some professionals or go somewhere to where, you know, your face card really gonna mean something, you know, it's an on and off switch. Like, you gotta really like check yourself and, you know, shit, like just be prepared. Cause I didn't feel prepared, but I did something for myself to make me try to just feel better, and that was it. So